What's up, Chicago? This is Will, one of the 3 members of the TTP Council. And today what we're going to do on our second show is chicken. Chicken. I don't know how many of you all have been tired of eating chicken the way I have been over the years. Fried and or baked, and that's about it. Or in a chicken strip, or with wings. And we want to bring to you different ways in order to cook your chicken that you might not see in the real world. And some people out there, professional chefs might know these tricks of the trades, but I guarantee you there's a couple of them we're going to pull out our hat for you. So the first thing you want to do when you get your chicken after you take it out of its yellow cardboard container there is make sure that you don't have any giblets or livers or anything like that. If you do, you can pull them out, save them to the side, and do whatever you want to them, but I'm not going to use them. I don't think anybody's going to use them today. Most important thing to do is get some nice cold running water and rinse your bird off. Making sure to gently wipe it down, nice and gentle like you would a lady or a male suitor. And you want to get up in that cavity and make sure there's no dried blood or anything like that in there. Because chickens, when they go through the processing plants, get tossed around a lot. Some of them even fall on the floor, and there's all types of bacteria and stuff like that. If you just don't wash it off, you could be eating Lord knows what. So we shake the excess water off of it like so. Put it down. We're going to grab some paper towels. And we're going to gently pat it down. We don't need to rub it too much. We're not trying to pull the skin off. We just want to get some of this excess moisture off. I know there might be some people that say, aren't you soaking or getting the chicken too wet? No, you're not. The bird is already wet, just like we are inside. And I'm sure the majority of you already know that you need to rinse your chicken. So here we have a whole chicken. And the reason I'm showing you a whole chicken is because when you buy things, the less fabricated you buy things, the cheaper it is. Just point blank. That's why it's useful to watch this show, one. That's why it's useful to learn how to cook, because you can actually save money as opposed to buying a bunch of prefabricated packages of chicken breasts and wings and legs and thighs. You buy about 2 chickens for about $8, and you can break those down for a nice little meal depending on how you stretch your chicken out. So I'm going to take this apart for you and show you pretty much some of the different sections of the chicken. This right here is what would typically be used as a boning knife. And the reason it has this small blade, as you can see, is so it can get around in joints and crevices. The blade is really firm, but it has a little pull to it so that you're able to get around collagen and all those different kinds of things. I'm not going to use that. The reason I'm not going to use that is because most of you all probably do not have a boning knife. What you probably have, which I'm sure you all went out and bought soon after you watched the first episode of That's That Fire, is a chef's knife. So the first step is we position the bird nice and comfortable, get him nice and comfortable there, right where we need him to be. We take our blade, and there's a little bone that runs right along the middle. This separates the 2 breasts. We're going to take the blade and run right on the side of that bone, nice smooth stroke. And we see the flesh open up. We're going to come again, nice smooth stroke. Actually, let me turn it this way. It's actually kind of better to do it so you have the legs facing out, so you can follow the natural curve of the breastplate as it comes down. So, nice smooth stroke all the way down, and you keep your knife following this bone right here, and it angles out like that. So you want to follow the bone with the blade of the knife so that you're pulling all the meat off. If you don't, or you try to go straight down, you're cutting into the bone. And if you angle too far, you might cut your hand, and you're just going to leave a lot of meat on the bone. The more meat you leave on the bone, the more money you're leaving on your chicken carcass. So nice. Although those strokes weren't smooth, nice strokes going down the breast, and you hit a problem area right here. Where you hit is the joint where the wing is attached to. It's kind of like your shoulder joint. So when you get to this point, don't freak out. It's a ball joint. Feel it with your hand. Where the shoulder connects with the socket, get the tip of your blade in there and cut right through. Now you got the socket out. This breast is almost all the way off. Cut through this fat. Pull down a little bit. Now I have a breast quarter, which you've probably seen in the stores. And this might cost you, well, a couple of these might cost you about $4 or so, but I got a whole chicken for the same price. I'll set that right there. On this half, right here, now you see the leg and the thigh quarter. One easy method is just to pop it out like that, and you pop the joint from the socket. And now it gives you this line already where you can see where you just have to use your knife and cut right down. Right through the joint. Now you got your dark quarter. You got a thigh, you got a leg quarter right there. Same thing on the other side of the bird. Follow through, nice even cut. Follow your bone, feel. Separate the meat with your fingers and just feel it. You can feel where it needs to go down. And the first time you do this, it's probably not going to look good. It's probably not going to feel good to you. But after a couple of tries, like anything, you're going to get it. There's my other breast quarter right there. Now I still got this. I grab the thigh and I pop it out. Separate my meat, see my line, run through it, run my knife. Now I have my quarters. What I'm left with right here is a chicken carcass. Some people might say, what can you do with the chicken carcass? Well, there's a lot of things you can do with the chicken carcass. You can throw it in the oven, you can roast it and give it more flavor, dry like this, or you can put it in a pot of water and boil it up and get chicken stock with vegetables. These are the bases. Stock is the basis for soups. Stock is the basis for sauces. A stock can be a base for a lot of different things, so do not disregard this. And if you can't use it now, simply toss it in a bag and throw it in the freezer. Now, you got your white quarter, you got your dark quarter. How do you separate the two? You find your joint on your chicken, where the wing is. If you got this extra skin in the way, you can cut that away. Chicken tender, also good for deep frying and eating. Get that skin out the way. Find your joint. The joint is not attached to anything. If you remember when we pulled it off of the carcass, we popped out and cut it through. So when you find the bone, you simply angle your knife and you cut the wing off. Now you got a wing to do, fry it, bake it, whatever you want to. And you have this is called a skin-on, boneless, skinless chicken breast. Your dark quarter thigh, cut a little bit of this extra meat off, or not meat, but the skin. You want to look, the lines in the chicken are very defining in the fact that where you see a separation between the thigh and the leg, there'll be a little white line. So you kind of find that, take your knife, and it slides right through like butter, especially if you're nice and sharp. And you remember from the first show, we showed you how to maintain your knife. It should go through with no problem. Now look what I have here. I have a breast, I have a thigh, I have a leg, I have a wing, I even have a tender. This is just one half of the chicken. I also have my carcass, which I can roast and make a stock, and I can make a soup from. And this is all just from one chicken. And how long did that take me? 5 minutes tops. Buy whole, fabricate yourself, you'll save money, and you start to impress your friends too. Invite a lady over, break a chicken down in 5 minutes. I guarantee you got it. So when we come back, I'm gonna show you different dishes you can make with these chicken parts right here. Thank you.